Boys, welcome back. It's been a delay. I know it's been a while. Busy weeks, football's back, training's back, kids are back at soccer, shit makes it hard, alright? But this week we're wrapping up the last 2 game weeks, alright? There's been some big changes, some people at the top, people at the bottom, things have shuffled themselves around. We've had some crazy winners for the last 2 weeks and some disappointments for the last 2 weeks, which have been to be expected throughout the season. So, let's get right into it, breaking down just the top 2 and the bottom place person this week, just to speed shit up a bit, alright? So let's get right into it and start with game week 27. So, starting from the top 427 is a guy that I have not said has been in the top 3 for a long time, and that is Jamie fucking Cash. 85 points, takes out top spot, only by deductions on the second place, but still very good result. And what does that mean for him? Nothing. It doesn't move in the table at all. Literally the most solid performer this season. He has literally just been consistent all the fucking time. Dead center, mid-table, not much more. He is the Burnley of the FPL. But fuck me, did he have a good week this week. 85 points with 0 transfers as well. 0. So we should have a few up his sleeves heading towards 29, hopefully. So most of his team did well, except for the backline. The whole backline fucking blanked. 1 point, 1 point, and 0 point for Digne, Dallas, and Stones. Saka blanked, and then you got Calvert-Lewin and Bamford blanking. But he had the big hitters in his team. He had Martinez in goal doing well. He captained De Bruyne for 32 points. Fernandez got 10. Gundogan got 10. And then Kane coming in with the 19. So, not a bad week. If you look at his bench though, there was a fuckload of missed potential there. A lot of it. 3 for Souček, 6 for Semedo, 6 for Aina, and then even 9 if you went for Measler instead of Martinez. So, a lot of points on the bench. But even with a lot of points on the bench, you still fucking top the league. So well done, Cashy. Get yourself a little trophy for saying you came top of the league at least once this fucking season. So let's see if you can push on and keep it going and keep the momentum going and get yourself out of the mid-table mediocrity, alright? Now, in second place for 27 is a guy that I have not spoken about for fucking what it feels like forever. And that is Tyler Cole. Fuck me, man. Your brother's been cleaning up and you've just been hiding in the background. Ever since those first few game weeks where you were like top fucking 1,000 in the world, you've just gone and disappeared. But all of a sudden, you're making a bit of a comeback here. 89 points this week, but you did take an 8-point hit, so that puts you at 81 overall. So, very good week. Only behind Cashy. Your team was pretty solid. Unlike Cashy, where he had pretty much relied on the big hitters all round, you had a pretty solid team all round. Martinez in goal as well. Wan-Bissaka and Creswell cleaning up and getting your points in that back line. Diaz blanking and getting 2. Pepe blanking and getting 1. Watkins and Antonio up front blanking. But you still had the big hitters in the midfield. Gundogan, De Bruyne, Fernandez. And then you had Lingard as well. So overall, quite a solid week. Your transfers that you did change out though, you did have a few. So you did make El Ghazi, Ogbonna and Tielemans out for Pepe, Dallas and Lingard. So all in all, not a bad trade-off. I think Tielemans in 27, got 4 points. So maybe you lost out on Tielemans a little bit. But other than that, all in all, quite a good fucking week. So let's see if you can continue this trend though and back it up week on week and not just disappear after one decent week. Now, if we're talking about guys that I haven't been talking about for a while, right at the bottom is one of those guys that I have been talking about almost every other week. Bottom again this time around, 46 points and then losing 4 of them and ended up at 42 fucking points. Not a good week, alright? Not a good week for poor little Brett. Everybody fucked him over. Pretty much his whole team blanked, besides let's give him Leno in goals, Creswell and Fernandez. You captain Jesus up front. Fucking Jesus did not resurrect. He did not come back. He only gave you 2 points and then doubled the 4. So not a good week at all. Even your bench was quite well off actually. Areola, Souček, me and Wan-Bissaka on the bench. That's quite a bit of points compared to what your team was had on the field. So not a good week. Saw you get a good red arrow down the table. Let's see if you can finally pull some crazy changes out, because I've come up with it, boys. I have figured out what the prizes this season are going to be. So we're not just going to do first, second, third. That's boring, alright? I've got it. I'll run over it at the end of the video, so watch till the end. But Brett, you're right in the shout for a couple of these, alright? So let's see if you can step your game up, win something else, get away from the bad ones, maybe get a good award, alright? But yeah, let's see some crazy transfers. Let's see something, because your team's not looking good if you left it like this, heading towards 29. So moving on from 27, we go to 28, and what a fucking disappointing week 28 turned out to be. Everybody got absolutely fucked in their teams, and that is true even more when I can say that the top two guys this week were fucking Blake and Miller. When I'm saying those two guys are top of the table for the week, we know shit was broken. FPL was fucking broken. And sure enough, Blake coming in first place, 57 points, beating everybody out. It's a fucked week, and he did well, managed to clean up. And basically, his backline is what carried him. Cancelo, Shaw, Stones, and Cahill all getting points. The rest of the team falls apart. That's pretty much what happened with everybody. Their midfield was trash, their fucking forward line was trash. Everybody was fucked. It was the back lines that kept it all together. He did captain Son, got 1 point, went off injured, didn't fucking get any more, no good there. Your bench didn't help you much. I think you got lucky, yeah you did. Automatic subs got you fucking a lot of points. Saka and Cahill coming on. Started at 6 points for Alonso and Sterling. So you can thank the auto subs there. They did you some justice, but not a bad week. You're continuing that climb, man. You're the fucking performing guy that's come back this season. I'm going to call it the comeback king. You know, you've gone from bottom fucking 4 to mid-table, now into the top 6. It's crazy. You're doing well. I want to see you keep it up, man. So keep putting strings and good weeks together. I want to see if you can break into the top 4, man. That'll be an achievement from where you started this year. But yeah, so 29 is going to be a big week. It's going to set people apart because there's going to be guys that are making massive changes to get guys in. They're going to fuck themselves for weeks to come. It's going to be guys like myself who are pre-planned and sitting on a few guys that took a few points deduction the weeks before. But this week, pretty well set. See how Blake turns it around for 29 and if he can continue and find himself in that top 3. And as I said, if Blake is top, fucking Miller is second. 56 points. This boy played a wild card too. So I'm expecting big things out of you, man, because I reckon you're one of the last guys holding on to some form of a chip. So a wild card this week kind of did make sense, you know, and even you played it and you still didn't come top of the table, but we'll see what you've got. You know, your bench was pretty strong. You had Adams on the bench there and he got you 8 points. Could have been on the field. Probably should have been on the field. Look, you're brave playing dunk, but whatever. So your team though quite well. Again, Schmeichel, Stone, Shaw, and this time Dunk getting you the points, and pretty much everybody else blanking. We had Fernandez and Mount and Richarlison getting some points, but nothing major. Nothing that Fernandez had been getting all season. And Richarlison a couple of weeks ago cleaned up, but he didn't do much. Yeah, the last two, he went 8, 8, and 9, and then 2 and 2. Back to Richarlison, I guess. So, a rare good week, Miller, for you. I want to see you continue it. You know, do something a little bit more drastic. You played your wild card this week. Let's see what you can do for 29. Let's see what team comes out, because 29 is going to be the shaking point. I reckon everybody's kind of going to get scattered. The guys that have been preparing, heading forward, are going to come out on top, and the guys that haven't and making reactionary changes are going to come out on bottom. So let's see which side you fall on, Miller. I don't want to see you falling down that table anymore, man, because there's not much further you can fall. All right, so yeah, let's see what your results come up in 29. And now finally another consistent underperformer, finishing bottom for 28. And who else would that be but the latecomer himself, Corey Bucking Powell. 31 points, my friend. 0 transfers, 31 points. Bottom of the table, sitting down, or I think you're almost bottom of the table in total as well. So it's almost like you're done. Almost. I don't want to see you done, man. I want to see you come back. I want to see you finish the season off. Don't be a bitch now. Don't bitch out. No one else has. Alright, so get your shit together. But all in all, your team sucked. Sucked bad. You had Fofana and you had Diaz, and that was it. They got your points. Your captain Fernandez, he got you 3 and doubled the 6, but everybody else blanked. Every single fucking person. Even your bench blanked. No fucking good at all. So I want to see you make some changes, man. I want to see you get back in the game. See if you can get yourself out of the bottom 3. Alright? That's your goal for the rest of the season. Out of the bottom 3. Not a big task, alright? No relegation, alright? I want to see you get up. So yeah, let's get back into it. Don't take Whip's advice because he's just fucking handicapping you. Just do some crazy shit, alright? Take some punts on players. 29 is going to make a big change, so this might be the time that you'll be able to get yourself out of that hole and start climbing back up. So let's wrap up the winners for 27. So we got top spot of Jamie with 85 points, followed by second spot of Tyler with 81 points. And Mahrez was the performer for the week for 27. Coming in at last place was Brett with 46 points, and his captain decision of Jesus of getting him 4 points in total did not help. Not in the slightest. So, you know, bad round for 27. Let's move on and see the wrap up for 28. And 28, as I said, was the performers that have performed all season, come under the radar. Blake with 57 on top, Jake with 56 on top. It was a shitty week, but these two guys came out and made it work. So, you know, top performer for the round though was Iniacho for bloody Leicester City, which was a guy I don't think anyone fucking had. And if they did have him, Jesus Christ, well done. But yeah, heading to the losers, and it's the typical guy himself, always performing poorly. Corey himself, 31 points. He didn't make a bad captain decision. It was Fernandez, so yeah. So Fernandez just didn't perform quite well. That was all. So let's see if everybody can pick their game up for 29 and see what comes out in the wash heading for this last backstretch of the season. So finally, we wrap up the table for the remainder of the weeks. Swapping spots was Aiden. He's taking the top spot from me, 1765, and pushing me down to second spot at 1757. But there's definitely a clear gap between us and the rest of the crew. So basically, what we're saying is we are the GOATs. Look, I want to be Messi, you can be Ronaldo, alright? But that's pretty much where we're at. Top four, consistency, Sean, 1715, he's in third spot with Matt, the Arsenal of the group, 1686, but with Mark right up your clacker, 1682. And then, not far behind, it's fucking snake in the grass, Blake, 1661. He's crawled into that top six. Shit, fuck me not, he's coming for that top four, man. So Mark, you better fucking watch yourselves, because he's gonna get you. Mid-table himself was Andrews. He's now in 7th spot, 1640. He's holding on to that quite well. You know, he's got it pretty well locked down. He can still push back into the top 6. So Matt is another guy. Don't sleep on it, right? He can slide on in and take it. Next, Jack was 1619, and then Tyler right behind him was 1616. Very close in this mid-table section. There's about 5 guys very, very close to each other that I want to see moving around, alright? Next up, you got Morgan, and then Jamie, 1605 and 1601. So Cashy with that week, that winning week a couple of weeks back, got himself back into the mid-section there and closed the gap on Morgan. So let's see if he can finally climb a spot after 75,000 weeks at fucking the exact same position. So then we got Brett, 1584, followed by the bottom 5. And now Reese slipped a little bit. He's been a bit quiet for the last few weeks. I want to see you start making some more crazy punts like you used to, man. 1561. You're still within reach. 40 odd points out of that real deep mid-table. See if you can get in there, alright? Next up, we've got Jake, 1515. You got yourself a bit of a space, a bit of breathing space between those guys with that good week with you and Blake. So 1515 puts you well and truly out of the bottom 3. Bottom 3, third to bottom, Corey, 1468, followed by Sam right behind him, 1467, and Luke, 1462. Who is going to finish on the bottom? That is the question. You don't want it to be you, boys. Trust me. Things I've got planned for last place, you don't want to be last place, alright? So yeah, biggest winner for the week, I'm going to give it to Aiden, taking top spot from myself. It's a good jump, it's a good reward. So let's see if he can how many weeks he can hold on to it. It's probably the best thing. Our biggest loser is definitely Brett, dropping 2 spots, man, from decent mid-table to just hanging on mid-table, well and truly becoming the Burnley of the fucking league. So yeah, so let's see what we can do for 29. 29 is going to be a bit of a short week. Obviously, there's only a few games, and it's going to be a bit shit to watch on TV, but it's also going to make some big changes in the FPL. Those guys that aren't paying attention, those guys that aren't ready, and those guys that have to make massive deductions to get their team right. So, but yeah, one more thing I'm going to move on to, right? one more thing. I've figured out what the prizes are. There has been many discussions about what we're gonna do for the league and what the rewards are and all this kind of shit. So I've figured it out, boys. I'm not gonna tell you what the exact rewards are, but I'm gonna tell you what gets you a reward. Alright? So first place, obviously, we're gonna call that shit the GOAT trophy. Alright? You come first, you get yourself the inaugural FPL Foxes FPL 2021 League GOAT. Alright? You are the GOAT. What that looks like will come at a later date, but you'll get to be the GOAT. There's going to be no second place, no third place, none of that shit. We're doing some other shit, alright? So there's going to be a most improved trophy. So a guy that started off poorly and has put themselves into a decent position. Whoever that guy is, it's going to go by their kind of ranking. It's going to be more or less judged by me. So fuck you guys. I make the videos. I make the league. I talk all the shit. So I'm making all the criteria too. But it's going to go to most improved. Alright? Then we're going to have the Comeback King. Alright? Slightly different to the most improved. The Comeback King is the guy who fell the furthest and has managed to rebound and come back the highest. Alright? So make sure, if you're in a position where you can come back and keep bouncing up, let's see, that's what you want to be aiming for, alright? By the end of the season, the Comeback King. Then, we're going to have the losing trophies, alright? So we're going to have the Disappointment of the Season. The guy that's had the biggest expectation and has underperformed the most, alright? So I'm going to call that one the Disappointment of the Season, the At Least You Tried trophy, alright? Then obviously, we've got the loser. If you come last, it's going to be the wooden spooner. And fuck me, there's going to be something attached to that. So yeah, so that's your criteria, alright boys? There's your trophies for the week, for the season, alright? So we've got 5 trophies. First place, most improved, Comeback King, Disappointment, and loser. So, now you know the trophies and the criteria around it and what's coming out. We'll work on the prizes. I'll release them at a later date, but let's find yourself getting into the positions for one of these trophies at least. And that's it for this wrap up, boys. Now we head into 29, short week, gonna make some changes. People are gonna fall, things are gonna go crazy. People are going to be banking on teams to win rather than trying to split their teams and getting players from both sides. So let's see who performs, who doesn't even fucking pay attention, and we'll see the big changes at the end of 29. So I'll see you in the next video, boys. Leave a like, leave a comment, shoot me a message, man. Fuck me, give me something here. Alright, there's going to be some videos coming up soon, so keep your eyes peeled. Alright, we'll see you in the next video.